Guys, we all know that PC gaming can be an expensive hobby, especially with graphics cards, RAM prices, and still, being stupid sauce. But with all of that going on, it's easy to forget that games are pretty dang expensive too. AAA titles are selling for an arm and an elbow, and even indie titles command at least a toe or two. And now we're not saying that those games aren't worth their asking price, because many of them are, especially like God of War, but that's not a PC game anyways. But even so, we're talking about a lot of money here. If only there was some way to subsidize the cost of PC games somehow, maybe even by utilizing the hardware us gamers already have ticking away in our systems somehow. Wouldn't that be something? Oh wait, that's already a thing. Mining. Many miners, including us, have dipped into the good old mining fun more than a few times when a new game rolls into town. It used to be easier when Steam accepted Bitcoin, but now you just convert it to cash and then buy it. Anyways, it just makes sense. Use your system as normal and then let it dig you up some coin, which you can then spend on new games. Totally fine with me. But what if you don't want to go through the hassle of converting your coin into boring people money before you can buy your games? Well, introducing games from space. So before we jump into it, this video is brought to you by the UFD Deals channel. Yes, my friends, we have a second channel where we bring you the latest tech deals that we see on the interwebs. We splice them all together and put them in one general location so that you can see them on a video. So if you guys are interested in that, you can check out the link in the video description or click that in the top right hand corner to subscribe to UFD Deals. Don't forget to hit the like button on all of those videos. But we bring you the freshest deals that we can find on the internet. You guys should definitely check it out. And with that being said, let's get to the topic of the video. According to its tagline, Games from Space lets users, quote, get games for free delivered from space, end quote. Fantastic. But unfortunately, it doesn't offer either of those things. What it does offer is an app that, just like other mining apps, pays you for renting out your graphics card processing power. But unlike conventional mining, which earns you some of whatever coin you're mining, Games from Space pays you in games, or more specifically, legitimate game keys. And so quote, get games for almost free depending on your electricity costs delivered via the internet. Probably in an effort to not scare off potential users, a recent press release by Games from Space doesn't once mention words like mining, cryptocurrency, or blockchain. But you don't have to be a die-hard miner to see exactly what's going on here. The official Games from Space website is far more transparent about the whole thing than the press release, stating that the app does indeed use your graphics card to mine cryptocurrency, but whatever. After registering an account and downloading the Games from Space app, you're prompted to pick a game from a pretty extensive list of new and older titles. These titles include the likes of PUBG, Dark Souls 3, Far Cry 5, The Witcher 3, and even classics and indie titles like GTA 3 and The Binding of Isaac. In order to grab a code for your selected game, you need to accumulate the required amount of space coins by letting your graphics card mine. The application is actually mining Ethereum, as one of the developers confirmed on Reddit. But since you won't be dealing with the crypto directly, you get, quote, space coins. Each game in the App Store requires a certain number of coins before you get your key. Luckily, the store provides a time estimate for how long it'll take to gather enough coin for your game, depending on the graphics card you're using. According to the example used on the official site, if you're rocking a GTX 1070, just like this laptop from Wootware right here, shout out to Wootware for sending me to America with the dope laptop, it should take you about 5 days to gather enough coin for Batman Arkham Knight, although who would freaking want to play that on the PC, 28 days for PUBG or GTA 5, 1 day for Fear 2, and around 10 days for Minecraft or something like Rocket League. Of course, we don't know how accurate the example is or whether the 1070 used in the example has been overclocked or not, but still, those seem like pretty reasonable return times, but are they really? We decided to see how long it would take to a 1070 to mine enough Ethereum to be able to afford a few of the games in the examples Game from Space has on its site. Now, generally, without any major overclocking applied, a 1070 should manage around a hash rate of 30 megahash per second on Ethash. With that hash rate, Crypto Compared's calculator states that a 1070 should be bringing in about $1.60 per day. Using Batman Arkham Knight and Rocket League as examples, which Steam is currently selling for $6.79 and $19.99 respectively, we can work out that you'd be able to mine enough Ethereum for Arkham Knight in just over 4 days, while Rocket League could be yours in about 12.5 days. In the first example, mining Ethereum directly and using that to pay for Arkham Knight would be the quicker option. The second example, however, shows the complete opposite, as using Games from Space would result in a quicker turnaround time by about 2 days. This could be due to various reasons, the most likely being Games from Space buys their game keys when their games are on sale and can then offer them at slightly reduced costs in their app. In either case, though, we're relatively sure that Games from Space is taking a little off the top. Of course, they would have to. They have to profit from this arrangement somehow After all, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but if they are indeed taking a percentage cut anywhere, it would be nice to see that information laid out somewhere in the app or on the website where it would be clearly visible. And while we're on the topic, we'd also really like to see Games from Space add information about the possible negative effects mining can have on users' cards. Most of us are already quite aware of the dangers of running any piece of hardware near constantly, and experienced miners know how to minimize the impact of mining on their hardware, but experienced miners are probably not the ones who'd use this app. This app will likely appeal more to gamers and less experienced miners who might not be aware of all of the risks. Similarly, we believe it should also be made clear that mining uses up a ton of electricity, and depending on your region, you might end up paying more for that electricity than you would for the games that you want. But even though we'd like to see all of that information become available on the site and in the app, we actually like what Games from Space is doing here. The app itself is a breeze to use, great to look at compared to most of the UI miners we've tested, and it makes the whole process a little more fun than looking at hash rate reports. It seems really professionally made, and it only starts mining when you're not using your system. It's not a revolutionary feature, as most mining apps offer something similar, but it's an important one to users who don't want to lose any performance while gaming or using their system as usual. For those who don't mind a bit of a slowdown while browsing the net or streaming Netflix, there is an option that sets the miner to run constantly whether you're using the system or not, which obviously lowers the time needed before you get your game. So overall, Games from Space seems like a really decent alternative to those who primarily mine in order to buy new games. Converting Ethereum or most other currencies into money you can actually use to buy games from Steam and the like can be a complicated and sometimes lengthy process, especially if your country doesn't have the best exchanges. So not having to deal with any of that should appeal to quite a number of people. Unfortunately, that convenience comes at the cost of security. Because you're essentially mining for Games from Space, all of the coin you mine goes directly into their wallet and not yours. And they're not obligated to give you jack in return. Obviously, it's not in their best interest to screw over their customers, but they do have that ability. So you still need to practice the same caution as you would with any other mining service you choose to lend your processing power to. And just so you guys know, this was not paid for by Games from Space. They never contacted us. This is not an arrangement with them for us to talk about their service. It's just something that we see that other people on the internet are talking about, and we thought that we could throw our 2 cents into the ring. But I want to know what you all think about this. Would you use Games from Space? Have you used it? Do you use a similar service? I want to chat about that in the comments down below or in the community Discord. Link for that will be in the video description. We'll also have a link for you to check out Games from Space down there as well if you're interested. And also, if you haven't heard, because you should have, because I mentioned it in this video, Wootware has their own laptops now. Yes, the Wootware Wootbook has come in stock. These are Clevo OEM notebooks that they're selling on their website. They are fantastic. They come as bare bone kits, so you can kit them out with whatever you want, whether it be the storage, RAM, all of that good stuff. You can select it on the website. They'll install it for you, or you can install it yourself if you have stuff lying around. That's what I did with mine. I already had 32 gigabytes of DDR4 laptop RAM and an M.2 drive and an SSD, so I just threw it all in there when they sent me mine. It's been great. I love having this on the road, but you guys can check out Wootware if you're in South Africa. You want to pick up one of the Wootware Wootbooks. The prices are absolutely phenomenal. Even once you add all of the stuff to the bare bones kit, they are super competitive against every single other laptop brand that's in South Africa. And my friends, I've been using this for all of my video editing, and I just unplugged it. 1, I can tell you the battery is fantastic. 2, I can tell you that the fans keep everything cool. It has 3 fans in there, so it's powering the i7 processor and the GTX 1070, and by powering I meant cooling. It's doing all of that, and then it has RGB. This thing has been solid. Love it, absolutely. The frame, just so good. Love it, absolutely. This is not a planned ad plug, but it just made sense. Thank you so much, Wootware. Guys, check them out. Links in the video description. Check out Wootware if you're looking to pick up a laptop while you're in South Africa. But if you don't want to use Games from Space and you actually want to buy video games, you can use our affiliate codes, which are in the video description. It gives us a small kickback, helps the channel out a lot. Doesn't cost you anything extra, it just means that we get a cut of the sale, depending on whatever game you're buying. Don't buy Arkham Knight for the PC. It's absolute crap show. Buy something much more reasonable. Anyways, yeah, be sure to smash the like button. If you enjoyed this video, please get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our tech-related content. I'm Brett with the UFD Tech channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Cheers.